If you're watching this, you're probably an expat or about to become one. Maybe you're chasing better business opportunities, higher quality of life, lower taxes, or just escaping the bureaucracy that's holding you back. And chances are you've already heard about Agroup Consulting while searching for a trustworthy firm to handle your visas, residency, taxes, or investments. Well, you found the right place. Want to know why so many expats are talking about us? Because this company was built by someone just like you, for people just like you. And rather than spoil the story, I'll let the founder himself tell you. His name is Branly Agudelo, and what he's built is one of the most respected consulting firms for expats worldwide. Trust me, you'll want to hear this. Let's watch it together.
Agroup Consulting is short for Group of A. The A stands for Agudelo, my last name. But to truly understand what A Group means, you first need to understand my story and to hear my story. This isn't just the story of a company, it is the story of a vision that started with nothing more than an idea, a simple yet powerful belief. I was born in Colombia, but as long as I can remember, immigration has been a constant in my family. My grandmother moved from Colombia to the US when she was very young. Some relative ended up in Europe, and my parents um, moved from Colombia to Panama during my first year of high school. And that's where it all began. I was 15 when I got my first part time job at a consulting firm, and I used to go there after school while most of my friends were thinking about classes or hanging out. That is normal. I was already getting into taxes. I think that early exposure shaped my path, and I quickly realized that I had a real talent for it. Later, when I went to university in Panama, I didn't stop there. I traveled to the US, Germany, Spain, and other countries. I learned a lot about taxes, finance, laws, but not just to get good grades, but to figure out how to make these things work for real people, including myself. And thanks to what I learned, I figured out how to optimize my income, whether it came from investments, salaries, or other sources. And I discovered that it is actually possible to live while paying zero taxes, something that I have done all my life. And I see a lot of consultants from the US or Europe giving people advice on tax optimization, but at the same time, they're losing up to half of their income to taxes, and that just doesn't make sense for me. When I worked at a major consultancy, that was a consulting firm, clients started asking for me personally. They wanted someone who actually lives the expat lifestyle. They came to me with questions about where to move, which visas to apply for, and how to structure their income. And I already had real experience with that. That's when the idea of starting my own company really took shape. But I didn't want to create this another entity run by people who just traveled a lot and they say, okay, I'm an immigration advisor or I'm a tax expert. I wanted to bring together real knowledge, combining my own experience with a team of professionals to help others live the kind of life that I have. And that's how A Group Consulting was born. And it started in Panama with a small team of lawyers, tax advisors, and it quickly grew. And today we operate in countries like Costa Rica, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, Austria, Dubai, and more. And that is something that I didn't expect. And I'm proud to say that what started as just an idea has grown into one of the leading consulting firm for immigration and international tax planning, with a team of top professionals in every country where we operate, and over 500 individuals and businesses we've helped relocate, invest, and protect their wealth around the world.
You see what I mean? This isn't just another consulting firm. This is lived experience. Brantley didn't just read about tax laws or immigration online, he's lived it. And you probably know this already, but there's a ton of information out there and a lot of videos from people who honestly have no idea what they're talking about. You've got to be careful who you trust with your information and your money. Now, Brantley says he's helped over 500 individuals looking for services just like this. And I've taken the liberty of asking a few of them to share their stories. And since what's coming next is pretty fascinating, I went ahead, made myself a cup of coffee. Let's watch.
I always knew I didn't want the 9 to 5 grind. No office, no set routine. I just wanted freedom. Freedom to work from anywhere. Freedom to live on my own terms. But finding the right country to actually make that happen, well, that was the tricky part. So initially I looked at Thailand, I looked at Mexico, but something always kind of felt a little bit off. Either the visa was too complicated, the internet was unreliable, or I just couldn't really see myself settling there long term. That's when I found Portugal. Portugal is a place that welcomes digital nomads with an amazing lifestyle, solid infrastructure, let's be honest, ridiculously good food. That's why I decided to leave the UK. During this process, I found Agroup Consulting. They handled everything. My visa, my residency. They even helped me understand taxes here. No stress, no confusion, just a smooth transition.
Hey, so I thought retirement was going to be simple. Finally, having time to settle down, enjoy spending time with my family. But in the US, especially in places like California, it just doesn't feel at all like what I imagined. I mean, the cost of living has skyrocketed, including healthcare has gone through the roof. I was thinking there's got to be a better way to live, and Spain caught my attention. Now, the weather there is fantastic, and healthcare is not bad either. And the cost of living is way better. So I decided to move there, but I was facing a bunch of paperwork, a bunch of visas, and taxes. And that's when I found Agroup. They made the entire process simple. Now I wake up every morning feeling good about my decision to move to Spain.
I am from the US and I decided to move to Panama. It definitely wasn't easy, but I am so glad that I did. I had visited Panama a couple of times before, and I just knew this is where I wanted to be. Agroup was a huge help with getting my permanent residency sorted. They made things so much easier, and I honestly recommend them to anyone looking for immigration support.
For years, we kept our service exclusive, working only through referrals because our clients valued that exclusivity, and so did we. But after meeting countless people who could benefit from our services, I decided it was time to share this information with others, and that's the main reason why I'm making this video today. So here's the deal. Through this channel, I'm going to teach you how to keep more of what you earn, how to find the perfect place to retire or work as a digital nomad, and how to build a life that is not tied down by borders or high taxes. And the only thing that you have to do is subscribe to this channel to access this information. So, I'm not talking about ideas or something that I read in a book. This is my life. I'm the CEO of 3 companies. I'm a digital nomad in Europe, and I'm a tax resident of 4 countries. Everything that I'm sharing here is the real life and real information. Welcome to our community. Welcome to Agroup Consulting.
And like Brantley said, this is about building a life without borders. So where will your story take you next? Reach out to us. We'll be here to listen, to guide, and to help you find the place where your next chapter begins.